The older you get, it's like, give it to me, I don't care. Whatever, just don't call me late for dinner.
No, we don't know what he's talking about either. We think he's speaking Australian, cause Simon grew up in a small town down under where if the snakes don't kill you, the spiders will, where the men are men and emus learn to run away quickly.
I grew up in a town with 6 guys to 1 girl. So it was a very butch, male, macho sort of an area. With me, it was not socially necessarily an acceptable thing to say, hey, I want to be an actor. I mean, like, yeah, so do I, mate. Go and get a trade.
There was only one place to go for a small-town boy with big acting ambitions: Sydney. There were far fewer emus, far more Sheilas, and men could get work as music video eye candy. Can't think what caught the eye of casting directors.
But you can find on YouTube different things, music videos where he's really scantily clad, which again is a reason to watch it, although his dance moves aren't great, it's fair to say.
Dodgy dance moves aside, Simon's big break wasn't long in coming.
E Street was the big show that I was on, and I was a regular character on it.
Yup, it's a rite of passage for any Antipodean A-lister, appear in an Aussie soap. Young Master Baker was a natural for E Street's classic Oz soap blend of youthful good looks and romance, his sizzling on-screen chemistry with co-star Rebecca Rigg almost melting the screen.
There's some very cold Chinese food over there.
Just lost my appetite.
And the actress Simon played on-screen cops and nurses with became his full-time life partner. Yes, sorry viewers, he married Rebecca Rigg in real life. And it gets worse. He's still married to her, and they've got 3 kids. Only thing that could cheer us up now, ladies, is seeing him with no clothes on. Hooray! A guest gig on Home and Away cemented Simon's Australian soap credentials, his month-long cameo featuring the obligatory muscles and speedos, or in Australian, budgie smugglers.
Oh, I like aerobics more, but my class was cancelled this afternoon, so...
Here you are.
Here I am.
And Simon wasn't the only Hollywood actor to serve time in Aussie soap boot camp.
Crowe was on Neighbours at one point.
Crowe? That's Mr. Russell Crowe to us Poms.
I remember Heath doing Home and Away, and everyone, Naomi was on Home and Away.
He means Heath Ledger and Naomi Watts. Naomi is godmother to one of his sons. So's Nicole Kidman, or Kidders to this lot probably. It's like the Mafia. The Aussie Mafia.
We get called an Aussie Mafia, but I don't think we don't really have the communication skills to be able to form any kind of structured, organised takeover. The Americans have had a love affair with the Brits for years. Now the light's sort of shining on us for a little bit, and the Brits are a little bit like, whoa, what are these Australians?
Yes, but everyone knows that Aussies are Brits, just with dubious ancestors. We're only kidding. And a bit jealous. In the 90s, Simon, like Crowe and Kidders before him, left the sun and surf of Sydney and moved to the sun and surf of LA.
He was a jobbing actor for so many years. This didn't happen overnight. You know, for Simon Baker, he worked for years before he got the role in LA Confidential, which kind of at least brought him to the attention of casting directors.
Yes, a high-profile role in an Oscar-winning movie got Simon noticed. Although he was far from the star, that was Crowe and Mike from Neighbours. At least Heath and Naomi weren't in it. After LA Confidential, Simon's handsome face was a regular feature on US TV, always working, but never quite hitting the big time. Until...
One show, one script, one pilot will change your life forever.
Because in 2008, the years as a jobbing actor paid off. The small-town Aussie boy became the Mentalist and an instant global superstar.
I've never had that sort of the luxury of being able to snub my nose at certain material because I'm above that, you know. So I've had to take jobs where, you know, I really just shouldn't have, but I needed the money. And the financial independence that having a successful show gives one, now I feel like I can sort of relax and not worry as much.
Seems like Simon's just like the rest of us. But is he really still a down-to-earth Aussie?
Is Simon a typical Aussie?
Yeah, never takes a bath, always. No. Simon has all the Australian qualities, which are he's a hard worker, but never gets big-headed about himself, although he has a lot to be big-headed about.
Every guest star that comes on, I say, hey, when you meet Simon, tell him that your mother thinks he's a real fox. And I just perpetuate it. I like to keep him grounded.
He is a fox, just like his character. So where does the fabulous Baker boy end and the man called Jane begin?
They have the same face and the same hair.
Simon Baker very much is Patrick Jane. Mentalists have to get very close to people and sort of literally reach into their heads. They have to be charming, they have to be likable. People have to want to open up to them and be honest.
I think there's a bit of Patrick Jane in everyone, where you have the thought, but you censor it. Whereas with Patrick Jane, he doesn't bother censoring it.
You enjoy your work a little too much. You're a ghoul. If you don't get horny reading Fangoria, I'm Britney Spears.
Outspoken but charming. Clever and sexy. And guess what? There's more to come from the man with the girl's name. Because Mr. Baker is on set right now filming 22 more episodes. Hooray!
If you remember back to the pilot episode had a lot more edge to it. The shows so far this season feel a little bit more like that, where Jane is being a little more ruthless.
There's an exclusive. But before that, tonight's season finale. Eek, what's going to happen? Will he be able to solve the case? He won't go blind again, will he? Will we discover that Red John is one of this lot? Is it him? Or her? Or him? Or Crowe? Give us a clue.
Jane and the team get much closer to the Red John than they ever have before.
The Red John is mine. You try to stand in my way and you will regret it.
Very tense. People be scared.
Put your hands behind your head.
I will say at the end of the episode, Jane does something where you won't quite look at his character maybe the same way again.
Red John killed my wife and child.
You do get a sense of him unraveling.
I will have you framed for murder. I will torture you. I will kill you myself if I have to, whatever it takes.
Often he skates around the top of the volcano. In this one, he starts to sort of fall into it a bit.
Well, before he falls into that volcano, we've the season finale double bill on the way from 9 and the return of Red John. First, even more backstage secrets next on Fiverr's Mentalist Mania. Finale night continues.